of these trades.
I
Mike,
see Earl laughing
Earl's
back
losing
there.
it back
I see
here.
Earl laughing, bro.
I can't pronounce fun, family-friendly events to save my life.
Try to say it 3 times fast, please.
Yeah, let's do it.
Fun, family-friendly events, fun, family-friendly events, fun, family-friendly events.
You did it.
Damn, bro.
That was tough.
That was impressive.
Thank you.
I didn't think you had
Mike,
it
do
in
you want to start us off with these trades, though?
Yeah, okay. So
Tell us about this.
Yeah, so we talked on Tuesday. We did some potential 3-and-D free agents for the Cavaliers, and Jason went through. Jason said of the 3 that I presented, which was Malik Beasley, Dante DiVincenzo, and Georges Niang, that DiVincenzo was, in his opinion, their best option. But after that, and we're going to do next week, I got some feedback on that. We'll do some other free agent options potentially. We'll go through that next week. But afterwards, G was like, man, I don't care where they sign for a 3-and-D. They got to trade Jarrett Allen.
Yeah.
So you give me a challenge. I'm going to go to the ESPN trade machine. It's one of my favorite places to spend a few hours on a random Tuesday afternoon.
Okay.
And I came up with some potential Jarrett Allen trades that met a couple criteria. One, it had to be successful on ESPN.com, which is not the perfect trade machine concoctor, but at least it does the math for you. So I didn't have to do the math. So the numbers had to work out. 2, it had to be realistic. Like, we're not trading Jarrett Allen to the Hawks when they have Clint Capella. So it couldn't be to a team that I thought doesn't need a center.
Yeah.
And 3, it had to be something fair. So I didn't include picks. You could throw us a couple second-round picks in there if you wanted because they don't have any first-round picks to trade. But essentially, I came up with 4 that I thought were quasi-realistic. You guys tell me which one you like the best of the 4. And then G sent me one. Anthony sent me one, and Earl sent me one, so we'll run through theirs to end.
Are we gonna? We should put up a poll. Who made the best, rank?
Well, I have 4.
Who had the best offer? Who had the worst?
I have 4.
Okay. Who's the 4th?
And we should give it this.
Oh, in addition to your 4.
We should get.
I'm just saying, just between G, Anthony, and Earl.
Yeah, between these 3. So put a poll up. Who had
who's
the
got
best crazy one? Okay.
Offer.
So and these had to get
or
some
the
return.
most reasonable, not the best offer for the Cavs.
Well, none of these are reasonable.
Okay.
None of these are even remotely. Anthony's is gonna blow up. If y'all. Anthony has hold up.
I'm
Anthony,
gonna piss off a lot of people with
Anthony
mine.
has never said anything controversial on the show. Y'all are gonna be pissed off at Anthony about 10 minutes. I'm telling y'all right now.
I like
All
that.
right, here it is.
Okay. So the caveats: money had to work. It had to go to
of
a team that needed a center, and it had to bring something back to the Cavs that made them better. In my
And
opinion,
it had
at
to be
least
a fair trade.
a
for
fair
both
trade,
teams.
yes. Which we'll see with theirs.
Okay.
Fair maybe out the window. But trade number 1, Anthony, you can take it full. 2 trades with the Mavs. The first one. Send Jarrett Allen to the Mavericks. You get Tim Hardaway Jr., an equally priced wing, and Theo Pinson back.
I think is a made-up name. I think he was one of the kids on the Cosby Show.
No,
I have never heard of Theo
he's
Pinson.
only in there for the salary. So it's essentially a Tim Hardaway Jr. for Jarrett Allen. You need to throw. He was their 13th man. He's a point guard, a backup guard, athletic, but he makes $1.3 million and needed a little bit of salary to fix. So trade 1, essentially a Jarrett Allen for Tim Hardaway Jr. swap to the Mavericks.
Give me the bullet points on Tim Hardaway Jr.
He's a shooter. He can create a little bit of offense.
Yeah.
He's 6'5". He's not a great defender.
Yeah.
But he brings an element to this team of 3-and-D.
What did he shoot from 3?
39%. He's about a 40% for his career. And he averaged about 15, 16 points per game as a legit number 3 option in Dallas with Luka controlling the ball very often.
Right.
So he's used to playing without the ball. It's not my favorite of the ones. We'll get to my favorite in a little bit.
All
but
right. What do you think
that was one that at least worked on paper.
It's a 3-point shooter. My question is,
can we get his dad?
Right. Can we get your pops?
Yeah.
How much better does it make? I think it does make them nominally better, just a tick better offensively.
Yeah.
Obviously, they would get a little bit worse defensively.
Yes.
So I could see it's a move that says we're trying to do something.
Yes. And all these moves.
Just moving the deck chairs.
Yeah.
around.
All these moves.
Yeah.
mean Evan Mobley will play the 5 with more shooting around them.
Yeah.
My end goal of this is Evan Mobley's now your 5.
You know, to that point, sometimes you just got to shake things up.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't seem, I'm going to make a ridiculous comparison right now.
Okay.
My fantasy baseball team, the pitching is terrible. My pitching has been a disaster. So I put a post up on I'm like, make me trades for my pitchers. I have to trade them. I have to trade 3 or 4 of my starting pitchers. I got to blow it up. So I traded Aaron Nola of the Phillies, been a huge disappointment. So I traded him for a deal that on paper it's like, did I get any better? I don't know. But I got to shake up the chemistry on my roster instead of the Cavs. It's a terrible comparison, but anyway.
Hey, I was waiting to say, did you win or did you go on like a 5-game winning streak? Yeah,
Too early to tell.
Okay.
We don't know about the chemistry yet.
Trade number 2 is my favorite of the 4.
All right.
It also involves the Mavs, but instead, we are sending Jarrett Allen and Dean Wade to Dallas, and in return, getting Maxi Kleber, Reggie Bullock and JaVale McGee back. If you guys aren't familiar,
McGee and Bullock are older players, right?
McGee's just replaces Robin Lopez,
okay.
essentially. Bullock is a guy who stands in the corner and shoots threes at a very high percentage.
Okay.
Average defender. He's not great, but he's definitely not an absolute negative.
Okay.
And Kleber's a stretch four who's a very good defender and a versatile defender. So then you get a
Can he
stretch.
shoot?
Yes, he's a good stretch four. So you have a stretch four to pair with.
Why would the Mavs do this trade?
They need a rim running pick and roll threat with Jarrett Allen. They have no center. Christian Wood, who played center for them this year,
Yeah.
leaving in free agency, said he's not re-signing. So
Okay.
they are in desperate need of a legitimate big. They tried the JaVale McGee experiment. It
Yeah.
did not work this year. Allen's young enough, good enough defensively to anchor their
Upgrade.
defense. None of those guys are a true rim protector. Kleber's a switch kind
So,
of roam four
Is
that would
Bullock
fit in.
starting as your 3 for the Cavs?
I think you get 2 starters out of that trade. I think Bullock starts at the 3
And
as a
Kleber-
floor spacer
Kleber
who
starts
doesn't.
at the 4?
Yeah, neither of them need the ball offensively. They will stand in the corner and shoot threes. So that gives you Mobley, Garland, Mitchell to run pick and rolls with, and 2 shooters in the corner.
And can McGee play a few minutes off the bench?
He's
or
your
no?
Robin Lopez. So yeah. So
better
play.
than Ro-
He's better than Robin Lopez.
more useful than Robin
I
Lopez?
believe he's still better than Robin
I
Lopez.
mean, that seems to make sense to me. I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the move. I like the way you explained it. You could get me 2 starters in there. Which if you give me 2 starters, that means I can drop Okoro off the bench. I can have LeVert coming in off the bench.
Yeah.
You can still keep Jetty off the bench. Now
Do we think Rubio is completely shot, or now a year past the surgery, could he still be?
I'm not banking on it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like all you need is you need to figure out during the year which 3 guys that you can count on in the playoffs. If Rubio is one of them, cool.
Yeah.
If he's not, all right. If Okoro is one of the guys because he's developing some shooting, okay. But if you get 2 starters, I ain't got a problem.
And
with
one
that.
more piece in that trade, all 3 of those guys have played legitimate playoff minutes before.
That's true.
They all have been at least on a Western Conference Finals team, and McGee won a championship with the
Right,
Lakers.
right.
So
Okay.
guys who have at least shown
All
they're
right.
capable of playing the playoffs.
I like that one
The most.
That
so
is my
far.
favorite of the 4, I'll be
Okay.
honest. Okay, trade 3 involves the San Antonio Spurs, who are going to draft Victor Wembanyama, who is a 7'4" center. However,
By the way, you said they had nothing. They have Devin Vassell. He's a really good player,
that's,
isn't he?
he's a second-year guy, though. Steve, pull the trade back up here real quick.
All right.
So he's not nothing. And they got
Yeah.
Keldon Johnson, who scored 20
You
points.
the Buckeye.
They do. So in this trade, you'd send Jarrett Allen to the Spurs. You get Doug McDermott, Kem Birch, and Malachi Branham back. Here's why I think it makes sense on both sides. Wembanyama is 7'4". He's a center, yes, but defensively, I don't think you can count him to be a true center yet. Put him next to Jarrett Allen, the perfect role model for a young guy to go in there.
That's
They
true.
have cap space, so they have $40 million in cap space. They could take a little money back in this deal. Allen, he's without a doubt a serviceable center. Is he an all-star? He was. Is he still? I don't think so, but he's certainly a serviceable center. In this trade back, you get Doug McDermott, who is a very, very capable stretch four. Can play a little bit of the 3, but he's more of a stretch 4. He can actually come off screens, unlike Maxi Kleber in the last one. You can run some sets for him.
Yeah.
Kem Birch is your backup big there. He's not a
Branham
He's
plays
center.
stiff.
Branham
But he's not
played
a total
very well.
stiff.
He ain't a he's a stiff.
Yeah.
He's a stiff plus.
When
Yes.
Vassell was Vassell was hurt? Or?
Keldon Johnson got hurt, and he played for Johnson
Right.
a little bit
And
at the
he
end of the
played
season.
really
He
well.
played pretty well.
Yeah.
So if you get a young guy back, it might be too much for San Antonio to give up. However, I do like the idea of San Antonio looking to get a veteran big to pair with Wembanyama. So
And
there you
plus, I could play Wemby. I could play him at 4.
Right.
And I don't.
offensively, he's a 4. Defensively, he's a
and for
5.
San
But
Antonio-
I don't know if I want him banging down there.
Exactly.
Like,
Actually, Jarrett Allen would make a lot of sense for San Antonio.
and
I
he-
spent a lot of time
because
on
they
this.
don't have he's be their one guy who's not there.
Yeah,
not
and he don't got to run nothing for him. He's gonna say he's gonna be a rim protector.
Yep.
Because
I,
they
that,
got,
that,
they
I
got
think
Wemby who could shoot. They got Keldon Johnson who could shoot.
Vassell
Devin
who can shoot, and they just signed Devontae Graham as their point guard, who not great, but he can shoot.
that's I might like
I
that
like
one.
that trade too.
So I'm not sure if San
And
Antonio would
Branham's
do that.
like a player on the rise.
Second, he was a rookie last year,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's got some potential.
Yeah.
And he would fit in. Okay, and my last trade I came up with the Thunder. Do you know no one on the Thunder averaged 5 rebounds a game last year?
That's correct.
0 people on the Thunder.
Yeah.
Now they get Chet
Wow.
Holmgren coming back in. He was off injury, but just like
that's right, I
Wembanyama,
forgot about that.
Chet Holmgren weighs about $162, soaking wet. I'm not sure if you're ready to have him be your true center, which is where Jarrett Allen comes into play. Lou Dort, he makes a lot of money. You can almost do that straight up, those two money-wise. He's
Such a
a
weird name.
well, it's,
Yeah.
Lu,
I
it's
can't
Lugan
picture a guy named
Dort.
Lou Dort being good at basketball.
He signed a five-year, $80 million
I know.
contract. He's a
Doesn't make any
3-and-D
sense.
guy, super streaky, but a very good defender. 6'5", 6'6", can guard bigger perimeter wings. And Jalen Williams, that's not the really good Jalen Williams. They had two rookie Jalen Williams last year.
I'm mad.
This is the one from Arkansas, not the really good one. This is the second Jalen Williams, who's a versatile four. I don't love this trade as much, but I was just trying to find something that worked.
I like the San Antonio trade and then the second Dallas trade. I would do both of those.
I would do the Dallas trade still. I like the San Antonio trade. The San Antonio trade, I think, gets San Antonio a lot better, a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Like, I think that really makes a lot of sense.
Pop doesn't have forever there.
No.
What do you think San Antonio or Dallas would make those trades?
So when I went to do the Dallas pilot,
Yeah.
I texted this guy, Nick, who's the Locked On Mavs podcast guy, who's phenomenal. Nick Angstad, if you haven't checked him out and you like the Mavericks, phenomenal. He's one of the
he got one of the
top talent.
He got the best podcast on Locked On.
I asked
Real
him,
talk.
would you do the Tim Hardaway for Jarrett Allen trade? And he'd say, I would personally drive Tim Hardaway Jr. to the airport to make sure he got on that plane. So they would definitely do that. I asked him about the second one. And he's like, it's a lot to give up for a center, but Luka, he needs a big guy. He needs a rim runner. He needs someone who can anchor the defense. And he gave me, I'd have to think on it. So at least that meant to me, it's plausible. It's plausible.
And they got to do something with Luka. Like
they got to make Luka happy.
They can't come back with the same squad, bro. Like, it's just not happening.
It could be one of those moves that shuffles things up on both ends for the sake of shuffling things up.
Right.
And the Spurs trade, I actually think it helps the Spurs more than it helps. Like, Jarrett Allen's by far the best player in that deal.
Yeah.
McDermott's a nice piece, but you're getting 3 pieces for the one.
Yeah.
But I think that trade works the best maybe for both teams as how it would improve both
that
teams.
trade. I like that. I like that one a lot.
Like
Because who's the third player you're getting in that beside McDermott?
Ken Burke, who's another backup center.
Yeah, he's
And he can shoot a little bit. Can't shoot a little bit, but he's.
You get 3 useful players,
3 useful
different
pieces,
levels of useful players. But you're doing that second Mavs trade. All right, nice job, Mike.
So, thank you, by the way. This next trade, I'm going to set up G here because it was something I was looking at. My buddy Matt Colker, who I play basketball with, I asked him, hey, we're doing Jarrett Allen trades. Send me your trade. And he suggested something that then G amplified.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you what he suggested, then we're going to pull up G's trade. G can explain
Who is
his.
this guy, just a random dude?
I play basketball with him, Matt.
Okay.
He watched the show every day. He's probably watching right now. What's up, Matt?
What's up, Matt?
We're going out
Matt?
tonight. He wanted to trade Jarrett Allen for OG Anunoby straight up.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that.
I told them probably unrealistic. So then G came back, and G amplified that trade.
Yeah,
So G,
on steroids.
here's your trade involving Jarrett Allen and OG Anunoby.
So here's the thing: like they want to get for the Raptors, they want to get Scotty Barnes. Now OG Anunoby is playing small forward, but Scotty Barnes plays small forward. Now you got 2 dudes. They sometimes play a lineup where they play both of them, but once again, when you get a player like Scotty Barnes, who's already Rookie of the Year, what happens is their agents start looking at different things. Like, hold on, bro, he playing a lot of minutes at power forward. He is not a power forward. We see Scotty Barnes as a small forward. So they probably would not trade this. They would probably not trade OG Anunoby straight up for Jarrett Allen. And the reason is, that's just not enough going back. But if you are going to move Scotty Barnes directly to the small forward position, here's what we can do. We'll get you Isaac Okoro, who can now come off the bench.
Yeah.
And that can play behind Fred VanVleet if you want to guard somebody. Fred VanVleet is kind of small, but Isaac Okoro can guard.
VanVleet's a free agent, by the way.
I think they'll keep him, right?
It's got a lot of interest. He's going to get a bag
He's
this
a
year.
terrible shooter.
I don't like VanVleet, but
He's a low percentage
He's going to
shooter.
get a lot of money.
If you them, I mean, you developed him into. He's an all-star, right?
My first reaction to this is, again, like when I talk baseball and football trades, I feel like I have a great sense. With basketball, I don't feel as confident. But I will say that, to me, if I'm Toronto, if I'm not willing to trade Anunoby for Jarrett Allen, Isaac Okoro and Dean Wade are not changing my mind.
Well, they turned down 2 first-round picks at the deadline for Anunoby.
Right, like I'd rather have 2 first-round picks than that trio.
I would tend to agree. Now, if you could do that trade, that makes the Cavs so much better. I just don't think Toronto.
And by the way,
I just don't think Toronto would do it.
And by the way, if you do look at it, it makes I think of it in a trade machine. It makes the Cavs 6, games better.
Yeah,
and it makes them 5 games worse.
Trade, give them 14 second-round picks and those 3 guys. Let's go.
Yeah,
I would definitely make that trade.
I would make that trade so fast if it was available.
And I don't think it's insane.
It ain't crazy.
No, it's
like
not absurd.
if you
But
I
next
think
to
in the end,
absurd,
Toronto wouldn't do it.
yeah.
Like I said, Toronto
So you
was.
think G has the best of the 3 trades between these guys?
Just wait till you see. They moved some
All right,
pieces.
well, who we
we're
going
gonna, we're
now?
gonna go with
All
Earl
right, so
first.
Earl's first, and then I'm last.
But Anthony, before we go, real quick on the G thing.
What do you mean Earl's first? G was first.
Well, no,
Earl's first
before
of the
you go, I
two.
want to say one thing real quick
I'll
before
tell
you
you,
go.
the poll is meaningless. Earl put it up at the beginning. He put Bull on there. Bull didn't even do a trade. They all voted for everything before they even saw G's.
Hold on. One thing
Earl's
on G's
rigging
trade.
this.
One thing on G's trade. If you could get Anunoby, that is the perfect fit alongside
Yeah, I mean,
Garland and Mitchell and Mobley.
and-
However, I don't think they have the assets
Otto
to get
Porter,
him.
who's a
If you're-
shooter
If you're the
with
Cavs,
length.
It'd be awesome.
you would, outside of the 3 best players, you would trade anything to get him.
Anything. Yeah.
Anything.
Anything.
I don't think the Cavs
and
have
the
enough.
Dean,
they would,
and the
yeah.
Dean Wade thing, like they signed D Wade to a deal. Theoretically, he is a shooter. Theoretically, Isaac Okoro can guard 3 positions. It makes a little bit of sense. But if they wanted something besides Dean Wade, I wouldn't have a problem putting with. Now, if they had a first-round pick, I think they take the deal. A first-round pick.
Well,
But it's definitely more appealing at that
All
point.
right, let's go to Earl's trade.
Earl.
Earl, what do you got?
You ready?
I was born ready. I ain't scared of y'all.
Hey, Earl told me he was working on this yesterday. He had to add a 3rd team in. So let's see it.
Yeah.
Earl, explain and tell me your thought process.
Is it Dean Wade for LeBron James?
straight up.
Whenever you're ready, you can take it.
Let's go. What do we got? Oh, I can't read this.
I'll tell you. The
Oh, I can see right
Cleveland Cavaliers
What
get
is happening
Jalen
here?
Green and Kevin Porter Jr. from the Rockets. The Rockets get Kleba, JaVale McGee, Josh Green, and Theo Pinson from the Mavs. And the Mavericks get Jarrett Allen, Washington Jr., and Deshaun Nix
What?
from the Rockets.
Why on earth would the Rockets make this trade?
First of all, why?
Let Earl, it's your fault.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, ain't none of us a GM, so I was having some fun. But one of the things is the Cavaliers don't have nobody outside of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland that can go get a bucket, and they ain't got nobody that got some heart. So you get a couple guys in here that can go get a bucket, and they got some heart, and maybe we can turn this thing around since
But
it
the
ain't gonna be no
Mavericks aren't
sweeping
getting
changes.
it. What are the Mavericks getting in this trade? I mean, what are the Rockets getting in this trade?
The Rockets, by the way, Kevin Porter Jr., we gave him to the Rockets.
The Rockets are giving away
because-
their 2 best players for JaVale McGee.
The Rockets are getting nothing, Earl.
And the
They're getting
Cavs,
Maxi Kleber.
that Kevin Porter Jr. literally was in Cleveland, but they said they had to get rid of him because I don't know, he threw a soup at somebody or went
No,
crazy.
that was JR.
or he
just
was
with a head
swinging
case.
on. It was a physical.
No, he did multiple things to get
Physical
him.
altercations
And
with
again,
like coaches.
The Cavs screwed that up,
Yes.
I mean, Jason would know more about that, but
They did screw it up when they traded him.
He turned out to be a better
I
player
would
than
like
they
to
thought
have
he'd be.
him, but they just drafted what's his name, the other kid, Jalen Green.
Yeah, who you're also getting.
They
you're
just
getting,
drafted him.
No, you're getting him in the trade too.
Earl.
No, the Cavs are getting
The
Jalen
Cavs
Green
don't
and
have-
Kevin
What is
Porter.
Earl talking about?
Hey, we needed players that can go get a bucket, man. So I figured, hey.
Earl, you like the fans here.
The Rockets are giving up the 2nd overall pick last year for Maxi Kleber and JaVale McGee.
I need this on a short.
Oh, my God. Anthony's
let's
trade
get the crack
cannot
pipe
be
out,
more
'cause
unfair
it's
than
time
that
for my
one, is it?
trade. Y'all ready for this?
Anthony, take it away.
This can't be
Take
crazy.
tag board full. I'm making the
oh my
Nuggets and
God.
I'm making the Cavs better. I'm trading Mitchell and Allen for Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon with the Nuggets. Straight up, those 2. I realize my only hole here is I don't have a shooting guard now for the Cavs, so I am missing it too. But I don't think Mitchell's going to be here after next year anyways. Get rid of him for what we can. Porter Jr. can play that 3 position very well. I think that covers a lot of our gap there. Now, I could also have done this with trading Okoro and Dean Wade for just Porter Jr., but I wanted a rebounder as well if we move Mobley to the 5th.
Okay, I don't know what's dumber. The fact that this trade makes no sense, or
At
the
all.
fact that please repeat what you just said.
All of it?
No, that last thing you just said.
I think Aaron Gordon can rebound, and I want to put Mobley at the 5th.
You said You said at the end you would trade Okoro
Dean Wade.
and Dean Wade.
And Allen. Oh, sorry, all three of them. I missed out. Allen in there too. Yeah.
Oh,
Before
what?
Porter Jr. The Nuggets would never take it, but that was also a viable trade according to the trade machine. And I did this in
The
3.5
Nuggets
minutes.
are 2 wins away from going to the NBA
I
Finals.
completely forgot
And they're gonna
to
just
do
bust
my
up their
homework last
team.
night.
And they're gonna take Jarrett Allen and pair him with Jokic.
But just because he wants Kevin or Aaron Gordon in the trade too, let's just give up Donovan Mitchell.
Like,
What is that?
hey, by the
And
way,
you got me crying, bro.
this is
I'd
why
just like to say I went from 12% of the vote to now I got about 9. So I'm
Bro,
doing right over here.
God, that is
I don't
terrible.
understand. Here's what I'm gonna say, man.
I spent so much time making real trades for y'all.
Thank you.
I
Like,
mean, Mikey worked hard
whole
on his
day.
trade.
listen, and just so I wouldn't lose
Hey, that's the funniest
credibility.
thing you ever said.
By the way,
Just so I wouldn't
Yeah.
lose credibility, I was gonna get hype and say I'm gonna do a trade with James Harden for the Cavs.
Yeah.
And I got on the trade machine and realized it was the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
The numbers didn't match. The teams was trash. I said, no, Mikey, I'm not doing a James Harden deal. I'll give you a Jared Allen
Numbers
deal, and
kinda
that's it.
match.
G's trade at least is within the scope of reality.
Thought process.
Those trades that you two came up with are two of the stupidest things I've ever
The
seen.
Cavs get the number one
Can you believe they
overall
trust
pick.
us to run this show?
The
Yeah.
number one Jalen Green and Porter.
and Porter.
Yo, you think the Spurs would take Okoro and Rubio for the #1 pick?
Yes.
They'd have to think about it.
Think twice.
I don't know.
I'll throw in Dean
All right.
Wade if they
Wow.
really need to.
We have all
those-
gotten stupider
Those
in
were
the
our
last
trades,
5 minutes.
guys.
Well,
That's funny.
yeah, vote on it. What
I
was
love
that?
the creativity.
No,
from
the
you
voting.
guys.
The voting doesn't work. Earl
Okay.
messed up the voting, but I will tell you guys.
Wait, don't
what
put
the
anything on
results are.
Earl after what you just presented.
All right, so Earl got 25% of the vote. I got 12. G got 52%, and Bull got 12. Even though he didn't.
What? I didn't do anything.
I don't know what Earl's doing over here.
I tell you exactly what I did. I jumped in the chat from my own account and kind of threw some, hey, I'm on the east side. Either you vote for my trade or stand a chance
By the
of
way-
pulling up on you after the show.
Here's the funny thing. Earl's trade was so absurdly one-sided in the Cavs' favor that even our fan base, which is the biggest Homer fan base in America,
It's like, we can't do
said,
it.
I can't pick that one. It's too Homerish.
I can't just get the number one overall pick from last
For nothing.
for free.
I would just like to say real quick, Evan419, Earl and Ant, how high are you? And we respond, hi, how are you?
Hey, well, we got one thing to
We got
end the
one
show
thing
with.
in there, yeah.
Well, no, this was
God.
UCSS history. I'm making a note. Worst take. These two trades are going on the worst take of the year. Now,